We all carry feelings that don't serve us: doubt, insecurity, resentment, the quiet belief that maybe we're not good enough. They're subtle, often invisible to the outside world, but they sit beneath the surface like cracks in the foundations, small enough to ignore, dangerous enough to destroy everything if left unchecked. You don't wake up one day and find your future gone. It erodes, one excuse at a time, one delayed decision, one voice in your head whispering, "Why even try?" That's what weak feelings do. They don't shout, they whisper, they pretend to protect you. They tell you to rest when you should rise, to settle when you're meant to stretch, to stay silent when you should speak. The hard part is that they feel real. They wear the disguise of truth. But just because you feel something doesn't mean it's rooted in reality. And if you let those feelings dictate your actions, they'll slowly sabotage the future you haven't even built yet. I've seen it in people I care about. Talented, thoughtful, capable people who let a single moment of rejection define their worth. Who started walking with their shoulders down after someone told them they weren't enough. Not because it was true, but because they believed the feeling that came with it. They didn't kill that weak feeling. And eventually, it started killing their ambition, their confidence, their identity. It's a strange thing to love comfort more than growth, to listen to fear instead of possibility, but it happens when we don't pay attention to what's guiding our decisions. And that's the real battle most of us are fighting. Not against the world, but against the quiet emotions we never confront. The thing about weak feelings is that they tend to show up at the exact moment you need strength the most. Right before you speak up, right before you take the leap, right before you change direction, they tell you not now, you're not ready, it's too risky. And if you obey them even once, it becomes easier to obey them again and again, until your whole life is shaped by the avoidance of discomfort rather than the pursuit of meaning. So let me ask you, what weak feeling have you been feeding lately? The feeling of needing approval before taking action. The fear of looking foolish, the voice that tells you you'll never be as good as they are. What would your life look like if you stopped giving that voice authority? Because here's the truth. You cannot build a strong future with a fragile mindset. You cannot carry purpose in one hand while gripping fear in the other. At some point, you have to choose. Do I want to feel safe in this moment, or do I want to become someone I'm proud of? I knew someone once who wanted to start a business. He had the skills, the ideas, even the savings, but he let the fear of failure run the show. For years he waited, planned, prepared, but he never acted, not because he couldn't, but because he didn't believe he could. He didn't kill the feeling that said, "You're not the kind of person who wins." And eventually that feeling was right. Not because it was true, but because it went unchallenged. Weak feelings grow stronger the longer you avoid them. They grow roots. They become part of how you see the world, how you explain away your own inaction. But you were not born to stay small. You were not born to constantly seek reassurance or validation. You were built to create, to contribute, to endure, to lead. And the only way to grow into that is to stop protecting your fear and start protecting your future. Sometimes strength looks like action, but sometimes it looks like awareness, noticing when your own thoughts are lying to you, catching yourself mid-self, doubt and saying, "No, that's not who I am anymore." It's not about pretending to be fearless. It's about choosing courage anyway, and no, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a decision you make over and over again, to show up even when you're scared, to speak the truth even when your voice shakes, to do the thing your future self will thank you for even if your current self isn't sure it's ready. That's what killing weak feelings looks like, not erasing emotion, but refusing to let the wrong ones steer the ship. We don't get to choose everything life throws at us, but we do get to choose which feelings we obey. And if you're serious about your future, about building something meaningful, you have to start being more loyal to your vision than your emotions. It's easy to wait for the right mood, but moods aren't reliable. They shift with the weather, with sleep, with someone else's opinion. Vision is what keeps you grounded. Vision is what reminds you who you are even when the world tries to convince you otherwise. So when that weak feeling shows up, and it will, don't ignore it, name it, challenge it, replace it. Say to yourself, I see you. But you don't get to decide today. There's a future waiting on the other side of your fear. One built on purpose, not pressure, truth, not insecurity, but you have to protect it. You have to show up for it before it arrives. Because if you don't, if you let those small, weak feelings keep their place, you'll look back one day and realize you built your life around what scared you instead of what mattered. And that would be the real loss, not failure, not rejection, but the quiet regret of never becoming who you were meant to be. So don't wait, start today, even if it's quiet, even if it's uncomfortable, even if the feeling tells you not to, because that's how you kill it, and that's how your future lives.